here on GSL Red City, which is of course a very exciting map. It's kind of like weird, like your third and fourth are kind of these weird branches out on each side. It actually reminds me, the map kind of looks like a game of Hungry Hungry Hippos, and each of these are just giant hippos with that's like their nose, kind of the depression in between and stuff. I don't know. Pretty sure it's Hungry Hungry Hippos, but I could be wrong. But I don't think I am. Yeah, the stream is back on. I can see it in the preview. It should be running. Ace match is starting up here in the bottom right-hand corner. For xGamers, we have xGsDark, their ace player, playing as the pink Zerg. Of course, you saw him on Belcher Vestige earlier going for a very aggressive roach strategy. And up here in the top right-hand corner versus a Terran, so very applicable, we have XT Barcode. I don't know what his name is. It's lots of L's and I's and things like that. But it's really impressive because it's a barcode. And he won his game earlier, so I think. Yeah? Yeah, he won his game? Yeah, he won his game. So barcodes are acceptable as long as you win. You don't have to be Korean to have a barcode if you're winning your game. Let's see. Moving out, looks like he's going to go ahead and scout straight north. Okay, nothing really exciting going down. We do have that fast gas again, so he's going to be Reaper scouting. Yeah, nothing really too exciting going on. Scouts going out to the north and the northwest, northeast, and southwest positions. Expansion went down for Dark. But really, no gas, which is kind of interesting. So it seems like he wants to take his third really fast. And when he scouts where the Terran is, that'll be depending on where he drops his third. He knows he's not in the north, so he might drop it there, well, the northeast. But we'll have to see. It's just so weird. Generally, this position is probably better for fending off drop play, at least. So that may be where he takes his third. In the meantime, Reaper is just about done. This drone's lifespan is very limited. Should be dying pretty soon. It's going to get walled in, maybe? Or is he going to expand? He's going to expand on the low ground. Expandy, expandy. Drone does get picked off. He didn't see the expansion start on the low ground, but he saw the worker positioned there. So he's got to assume that it's going to be an expansion on the low ground because he didn't see anything else go up behind this. No other factory, no supply depot, nothing at all. Factory will probably be started up in a second. Yeah, there we go. Factory's starting. Reaper scouts to the bottom left-hand position. Doesn't see anything there. He's going to scooch across to the Zerg player's main base. Right now, Queens are going to be finished up about the time that the Reaper arrives here. Lings are positioned on the high ground. Of course, there's this tiny little peninsula that the Reaper can leap up on. And will he do it? Where is he going to go? Oh no. Are you going to jump on the high ground? You don't know what's up there. It's dangerous. Be careful. Oh, sees an Overlord. Alright, 2 Reapers coming in. This is enough to deal a decent amount of harassment, especially if they get up on the high ground. And that's what they're going to try and do right now. They're actually going to move right where the Zerglings are. They're going to sneak. Ooh, Reaper does go down. Okay. So a Reaper for a Zergling. That's an exchange the Zerg player will definitely take any day. And behind this, the Terran player is picking up his other orbital command for the 3 orbital command strategy that's extremely common. And extremely greedy. And is very easy to punish with big roach timing attacks, which he may be doing considering he's picking up double gas and hasn't picked up Ling speed, so it's very, very likely. I wonder if the barcode for XT actually saw Dark's games earlier or heard anything from his team, because if he did, he's going to know that he really favored that aggressive strategy, and he has a very high win rate versus Terran this season, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. She's pulling a lot of workers out of the second refinery, it looks like. Maybe just never putting any in. It was the second one that was built. So that one would be the base one that's, doing its deal. But we have 2 Hellions and a Reaper out in the middle of the field. Another 2 Hellions are going to come across, and then he'll probably start poking, denying some creep spread, things like that. But again, no third has been picked up here for the Zerg player, even though he knows that the Terran is, very highly ranked, and what the Terran meta is right now is multiple bases. Three orbitals inside your main, essentially, and natural. So pretty risky position for both players right now. But I feel like the Zerg player's build is designed for the current meta and is going to be pretty strong in this particular game. And one of the really weird things about Red City is it has like this weird high ground right at your natural. It's just like to be annoying for tanks or something. Alright, lots of Hellions moving in, trying to scoot around these queens. There's quite a few of them that kind of get corralled. Now they're going to start working on that queen. They're going to see Lings without speed. That's interesting. 4 queens at the expansion. Also rather interesting. And double evolution chamber going up to defend me running in. Oh, I didn't see the evolution chambers. Okay. I was going to say, if you see that, that's kind of just like, why is he being so incredibly defensive? And the exact reaction you want to do, which is tanks, is starting up. Tanks are much better than Widow Mines at defending these big roach aggressions. That being said, if you get drops, still really, really difficult to hold off the roach aggression. Queen working down a Hellion from full HP instead of turning and shooting the low one. Transfuse going down though, so it's a big battle, but really all she loses is a little bit of energy. Reaper running in, seeing what it can see. Sees twitching roach buildings with little roach popping out. Look at him. Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom. Look at that. In there. It's kind of weird. The ones in there have like one eye. See that? It's very odd. So roaches evolve to have more eyeballs as they grow, apparently. Siege Tank moving over. It's kind of an interesting position. It's not going to really be able to deny that, but it's going to deny the path over there, at least. It's going to be able to get some shots. Now, out in the middle of the field are these Hellions and the one Reaper. They're going to see, hey, these are like a bunch of slow roaches just kind of waddling across the field. And then all of a sudden, no, it's speed roaches. The speed kicks in, and they start zooming across the map here. Marauders are starting up. Siege Tank is actually on the low ground. Oh my gosh, that is frightening. Oof. That is some risky business right there with the Siege Tank on the low ground. Roaches moving up. Looks like they may try. Oh, they almost look like they wanted to sprint into that gap right there. But they're going to be able to pick up the Siege Tank that was left on the low ground. And then they're going to maybe be able to pick up that tank that's on the high ground. One Roach trying to make that his mission. But lots of Marauders being produced here. And the Siege Tank on the high ground did deal a lot of damage. It already has 5 kills, actually. And the Roaches, I think, should be able to bust in here because there is no repair on that. Another Siege Tank finishes up. It's at the top of the hill. It sieges up, but the position that it's in right now, it's going to be kind of difficult to get reinforcements past it. So, okay, it's Marines coming out next, so it should be fine. Roaches just kind of marching up here. Siege Tank's trying to do their work. These Roaches are pretty clumped up, but the Siege Tank actually isn't in range. But the Roaches are not at all focusing the Marauders, dealing a ton of damage actually to them. And this Roach play was cleaned up pretty well. As soon as he saw those tanks, he actually expanded behind it. So that was a really good call there by Dark. That's what you want to do in this situation. Yes, be really aggressive, but as soon as the Siege Tanks kind of thwart it, you need to stop because it's going to be really, really difficult to break. Now, a lot more Roaches headed across the field, so he did take the expansion behind it, but he's still putting on a little bit of aggression. He's probably going to try, I'd probably try and force a lift over here at the 3rd, but we'll have to see what he actually aims for. It's going to be pretty hard to break the, oh, Siege Tank caught out of position maybe. Roaches, are you going to go for it? They don't see that Siege Tank over there on the left-hand side. They're going to get shot at, though. Now they see it. It's getting revealed. All right. He's going to pick off that one Siege Tank that's on the low ground. And now he's just going to try and work on SCVs as much as possible and deal as much as economic damage. If he decides. I mean, they're all pulled off the mineral line. That's economic damage right there. But he's not actually able to attack into this with the amount of Roaches he has because that is a lot of Marines with Stim. And now Medvacs are about to hit the field and the Bioforce is about to hit 1-1. And Roaches, while very effective at the beginning of the game, as soon as Bio starts getting upgrades, it pretty much shreds it. Ooh, but moving his units a little bit too far forward and quite a few getting picked off there. Not quite in range of that siege tank. Alright, now he's going to decide, alright, these are some free supply depots. I guess I'll take them. Stim going out. All the Marines trying to deal damage. But the Zerg player dancing back. There's a concussive shells that doesn't appear to be on those Marauders. So it'd be difficult. Let's see. Are you slowed when you're getting shot? Yep, nope, no concussive shells. So it's pretty difficult. These roaches are all going to die. They just really cannot clear through 1-1 bio as 1-0 and, you know, being roaches. But he took his fourth behind this, and he has been droning. So that entire time while he was being aggressive, he started to move into getting his fourth, getting Ling Muta. So now he's in a pretty good position, it looks like, for a bunch of damage. The Mutas are dealing quite a bit over here on the left-hand side of the map, or the right-hand side of the map. Right-hand base, left-hand side of the map. I was writing both counts, just mixing up words. And the Mutas pick off quite a few workers, but now they're engaging in a Stim Marines with 1-1. That is not a good idea, Mutas. Yes, you can regen, but you need to live to get away to do that regen. But now, the Terran player is actually in a pretty solid position. Zerg flooding a lot of minerals, so if he gets a big swell of lings to go along with these Mutas, he might actually be able to take this third base out. Because there's only one siege tank over here. It's pretty difficult. But yeah, very odd to go into +1 on your roaches. I guess it's just for that timing, and then to transition out of it into +1 on your melee. Now this turret did get finished up, so these Mutas are going to be forced back, and one of them does die for their efforts there. It's not really the best position for them. He did force another stim on these Marines, though, which means this Medvac, who already doesn't have any energy, is going to have not a very good time of regenerating it. Baneling speed is being researched. This changeling hanging out with the rest of the Marines. Hey guys, want to grab a beer? Other generic hanging out Marine things. I assume that's what they talk about. I don't really know though. Lots of links just kind of moving around the field. Now neither player opting to use the level 30 skins for their basic units, and I feel like that's a crucial mistake. A lot of players make these days. They earn those awesome portraits and then they don't use them. It's as if they don't know that they make you win if you have the portraits. Oh, Medvac getting picked off. Enough with my mildly interesting time-filling banter. That was not good. Very good pickup actually there by Dark, though I'm pretty sure it was 90% luck. Though I think it may have flown over that Zergling. Alright, Muta's moving in. If they focus this turret, they may be able to deal a lot of damage here. Turret does get focused down very quickly. Muta doesn't actually die, so lots of damage getting done on that mineral line. Now they're going to boost up into the main base. That's going to force a stim. Whoa, be careful there, Mutas. One of them dying to the Marines. More Marines positioned on the low ground to pick them off. A good stim, picking off one Muta, getting the rest of them kind of low, but they're just going to regenerate their HP and they're going to fly on out of here. And now, in the meantime, macroing up behind this, the Zerg player has a pretty decent-sized army. 2-2's on the way for him. +2 weapons is actually almost done for the Terran player. +2 armor never actually got started. So the Zerg player, in about 60 seconds? 90 seconds, is going to be ahead on upgrades, actually. So he may want to wait for that. He's almost entirely maxed out, though. This Ling at the bottom of the hill. Ooh! Moving in while it's on siege. You may be able to deal a bunch of damage here. And Baneling just crushing into the front line right there. But now spread starting to go out. Lots of Banelings actually being detonated on those tanks. But, you know, I mean, that's not really what you want to do. But it does actually end up being able to pick off both of those tanks. Some Lings being donated there for nothing. But now the 5th base moving up and being positioned here by Dark, while the Terran player is still on 3. So if he can hold off this very small counterattack, which I'm saying because there's pretty much no way he can't hold this off, he should be in a very good position moving forward in this game, despite that rather aggressive, almost all-in strategy. Okay, the Terran player is loaded up entirely in Medvacs, which he knows there's a lot of Mutas out on the field, so that's pretty ambitious. The Medvacs are moving across here. And now he's got to start watching out for these drops. Alright, so this drop is going to die immediately. Nothing even drops out of that one. The other drop got its a Marine out, but then it gets picked off. And now this last Medevac is just kind of flying around. It just flies into a bunch of Mutas and dies. So it looks like Dark is going to be in a very, very advantageous position right now. The army is just very vastly in his favor. The upgrades are actually now in his favor as well. His ground is at 2-1. as opposed to, or I'm sorry, 2-2 as opposed to 2-1 out of our Terran player. Where did all those mutas go? Okay, they're there. Mutas are at +1. They're cleaning up a drop down here. That's a very large army chilling in your main base. He's almost entirely remaxed again. Oof. And he has enough for a bunch of banelings. I feel like he could just morph all that gas into banelings and just roll at the Terran. I think it'd be pretty hard to stop. And actually, a lot of lanes just kind of running in here. Dying for no real reason. He's putting down a lot of static defense, though. 7 spine crawlers. So he's like, hey, I'm ahead. Why not just throw down a bunch of spine crawlers? I know the Zerg player doesn't have, or the Terran player doesn't have this 4th base, because it's very hard to secure. You can poke over here, you can poke over here. It's just really hard to defend both of those positions. And then he has lings very nicely positioned around the map. Additionally, he's not using F2 unless those lings would have definitely moved instead of being positioned where he wants them to be. Lots of lings and banelings moving in here. He's not really committing to the attack, though. He doesn't want to get blown up by all these Widow Mines. He wanted to burn them first, but little does he know, there's a giant field. Oh, wow, massive detonation there out of that Widow Mine, picking up a ton of banelings, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. There's just too many upgraded lings here, and then these banelings are just going to roll straight up, and now the production is about to be camped by Mutalisks. And that is really never a situation you want to be in. And that's a baneling's dream right there. Look at all those SCVs. Muta's very low on HP, but I feel like it's going to be very difficult for the barcode to come out of... Oh, wow. That was nasty. And it looks like it might just be collecting and realizing it's about to be GG here. As these mutas are just camping the production. There's not really much you can do when a Zerg force gets on top of your base like this as a Terran. Medvacs are just dying everywhere. They're not able to heal the Marines as they're stemmed out. GG called. So despite mounting a very good comeback... Oh, that's weird. Lagging out. I can't even click to leave the screen. Despite mounting a very good comeback, and it was a very good comeback, XT does actually fall to xGamers this time. But very, very close. 4-3 series, and it was looking a little one-sided there at the beginning. It was 3-0, but they pulled it back up to what ended up being a 4-3, so very well played out of both teams. This is Lakazi casting for you, of course, if you're tuning in on the channel. Thank you. If you're watching it somewhere else, awesome. Go follow me on Twitch and on YouTube and on Twitter. All that should be displayed on the social media on the right-hand side of your screen right now. Thanks for tuning in. This was UASL. And this is going to be running it's the Union of America's StarCraft League. And it's players from North America, Central America, and South America, which is really awesome. So lots of teams playing here. It's 8 of them in a league format, kind of a mini pro league, I guess you could say, or GSTL, something like that. And currently it is pretty much it's not all kill right now for the first few weeks, but then it's going to move to an all kill format, which is really exciting. But yeah, tune in here every Friday and Sunday, as well as the other streams if you're checking this out on facebook.com/UAS League, not USA League, UAS League. Tune in or check it out there. You'll see all the streams going. Of course, ideally you would tune into me because I'm awesome. But of course, the other streamers, you know, they are also really great and looking for some more exposure. So definitely tune in. Like their social media too. It's kind of hard to get started in casting sometimes. A lot of them are more established than I am, but you know, more fans never hurt